Everybody, welcome as we get the final game of the day underway. It is the second, not the third, of the day as originally anticipated. USC Salkehatchie, of course, has had some injuries over the course of a classic, actually a single game of the classic for USC. And as a result, they had to part ways early. We're not able to put four on the floor to begin with. And when you're unable to put four on the floor, then you can't start a game. So USC Salkehatchie, we wish them the best in the remainder of the year in hopes that their pre-Christmas and post-Thanksgiving injuries will find a way of healing themselves, and maybe some additional personnel will be a part of the scenery soon. And they'll get back to their basketball. Well, I'm a one-man band. I was checking everything to make sure that we are up and running. We are, so here we go. Southern Union with the basketball and the advantage. As we take a look at the starting lineups for both, we'll start with Southern Union since they are currently in possession of the basketball. Takira Tucker, Tuckerlana Mosley, Michaela Perry, Zuria Fannin, Carmen Bridges, rounding out the starting five for the visitors out of Alabama. Meanwhile, on the other end of the floor, as it is thrown backcourt by Papin, it is Steffi Salumu, Marlia Ignachkino, Jamia Gregory, Inola Papin, and Mia Sakano. And Papin at throwaway, I think, was immediately replaced on the floor. And indeed, that is Kayla Carter, who is now stepped out onto the hardwood for South Georgia Tech. Loose ball retrieved by Carter. Down the floor to Saluma. Saluma with a big ball game last night in a loss to Cape Fear. Around the horn, putting it up is Carter. She'll drop in the three. Jets take the lead. And to our thoughts and prayers with Jemiah Gregory. I understand that she had a very close aunt who passed away within the last week or so. And Gregory missing 3 days of practice as a result, and certain had things weighing heavy on her mind. And speaking of Gregory, coming off the floor, Ada Toro checking in for the Jets. Three-two Jets lead. Toro. Salumu over to Sakano. Back it goes to Gregory. Make that to Salumu. Sakano dropping in the three ball as the 30-second shot clock dwindles. And both Jet buckets have been of the three-point variety. Putting up a three on the Southern Union end is Perry. Toro gets it to Carter. And Sakano off the glass.
Sakano with the basket.
Opening stanza play, and I mentioned USC Salkehatchie with the injuries and unable to put five on the floor to begin a game. As a result, they leave early, and their game today against Albany Tech was canceled, so there was no 5 o'clock game this afternoon. We had a 3 o'clock contest won by Cape Fear. And this is the second of what originally was 3, now 2. Off the glass and rim for Bridges. That is Sakano. She is putting on a show early. Picking up the dribble is Mosley. Out front to Fannin. Fannin to the elbow. Rebound belonging to Ignachkino. Carter to Sakano. And that is Salumu with a miss. Ignachkino just took it away from Mosley. Mosley had grabbed the rebound. And Ignachkino simply took it away. Said, I want that more. Into the corner it goes to Carter. Toro. Back to Sakano. And a little late with a shot of Salumu. Shot clock violation. And it will be Southern Union basketball. Tomorrow a 2-game slate as well. But tomorrow a 1 and 3 o'clock contest. That is Tucker with it. Sends it to the other side of the paint, trying to get into Bridges. Taken away. Carter's got it, going the other way. And there is a whistle. Southern Union coach Carlos Funches is wanting to travel, but instead there will be a foul on a Bison. And that will get us to the first media timeout. 4:51 left in quarter number 1. Jets and Bison on the last day in November.
Georgia Technical College, where we make it happen.
Whether your dream is to become a welder, a nurse, a restaurant owner, electrician, or aircraft mechanic, South Georgia Technical College can help you make it happen. SGTC has over 200 associate degree, diploma, and technical certificate of credit programs of study available. Visit our website at southgatech.edu for more information or to apply, or call 800-928-0283.
So what are you waiting for? Let's make it happen.
Lady Jets Pete Arrington Thanksgiving Classic. And at halftime of this game, the family of Pete Arrington honored. Pete Arrington, a longtime supporter of South Georgia Tech basketball. Passed away several years ago due to cancer. And still remembered at a Thanksgiving event here at the hangar, and obviously by family and friends long since his passing. Carter goes 1 of 2.
Carter for the Lady Jets. 1 for 2 for the free throw.
Mosley to bring it to the Bison into the floor. South Georgia Tech hoping that this year they'll be hosting a semifinal and championship in the GCAA. Did not last year. Last year it was played in Swainsboro, Georgia at East Georgia State. Toro. Salumu into the corner. That is Carter with a miss on the 3 try. Mosley got it, going the other way. Tucker underneath, lays it up and in.
Tucker.
Into the corner to Papin, who is back into the game. Carter running the point. Sakano is at the scorer's table, ready to come back into the game. Papin, air ball on the 3 try. It is retrieved by Perry. Halftime, JUCO rush again. Our downsized version. If you want to watch it in its entirety, in its 30-plus minutes of entirety, it's available on our YouTube channel. By the way, we need 27 subscribers to get to 5,400. So if you haven't already subscribed, please do. Willie Silva into the game for the Jets. Back into is Gregory. Into the corner to Perry. Perry dropping in the 2-ball. Long two, but standing inside the arc. Sakano back into the ball game. Sends it into the corner to Gregory. Papin to Silva, then to Sakano. Misses on the 3 try, Mosley with it. Yet another rebound for Mosley. She has had a number early. Good move down low, dropping it in for 2. That is Gloria, check that. That is Randria Wilcher. That is Papin from the corner. Wilcher trying to drop in the jumper. Nachkino with a board. That is Gregory with her first 2 of the game.
Gregory for the Lady Jets.
That'll go out of bounds. Last got the fingertips of a Jet. Bison will keep it. Salumu back into the ball game. Ignachkino coming out for the Jets. And the Bison going to the bench as well. That is Perry out. And Aisha Davis in. Wilcher off on the 3 try. Papin with a rebound. Back over it goes to Silva. Gregory in the corner, Sakano. Papin sends it to Salumu. Down low to Silva. Sakano left open for the 3, and she's got another one. Jets pushing that lead out to 9. Davis sending it to Tucker into the corner. And then bringing it baseline is Wilcher. Drew the foul and goes to the line.
Foul on Salumu. First personal.
Salumu committing a personal, and that will be her first. And Wilcher will go 1 of 2. Turns it into an 8-point game. Tucker coming off the floor. And coming into the contest for Southern Union, that is Camry Boozer. Wow, 3s just lighting them up. The Jets pushing it out to a double-digit lead. From the corner, Davis trying the 3. I don't think they've registered those 3 points yet on the scoreboard. There we go. Silva putting up the 3. And that is an air ball for Silva. Well, no worries for Silva. I think Papin's first three was an air ball, and she's hit 2 since. So maybe that's the trend. Test the air, then drop in threes. Got a foul committed. And apparently it was committed by a Bison. That was Boozer. And I think Silva came over to the official showing her lips. So I don't know if she's got a busted lip. But is coming out of the game. Ignachkino coming in. Also Cheyenne Preston in as Salumu leaves. Into the corner to Papin, trying to get it down to Carter. It is tipped out of bounds by Wiltshire. And the Jets will maintain possession. Talia Lee coming into the game for Southern Union. And Sakano going to the strike. Wiltshire picking up the foul. Actually, Preston at the line. Just came into the ball game and misses on her first of 2. One more for Preston. She'll go 1 of 2. In play to Lee. Over to Harney. From the corner. 3 ball dropped in by Davis. Carter off the rim. And we have played 1. 10 minutes in. Jets by 9.
Georgia Technical College Lady Jets 23, Southern Union 14.
Well, we were talking about Pete Arrington. That is Mrs. Arrington. With, I believe, a cartload of brand young'uns in tow. A lot of the Arrington family here. And I think most from the Nashville, Tennessee area. Where, by the way, the Vols won today, knocked off Vandy. Vandy got out the quick start, but Tennessee came storming back and won it. Alabama has knocked off Auburn. Arizona State beating Arizona. Michigan over Ohio State. South Carolina meets Clemson. On your day in which there are plenty of rival games in college football. And when I get to the hotel, I think I'll watch one of them. Like the Texas A&M game. I'm hoping that it wraps up a little quicker than last night's Georgia Tech game. Lee's got the rebound. Carney giving it to Wilcher. Wilcher edging her way to the right side. Goes over to Lee. Lee with a line drive 3. Sakano with a rebound. Gets it to Preston. Tracks it down in the corner. Drive to the glass by Carter for 2.
Carter with the basket for South Georgia Tech.
Off the rim with the Davis 3 try. Carter taking it to the other end of the floor and gives him the paint. The plans were to get it into the paint. Getting Nachkino. Stolen away, but then thrown away by the Bison. Salumu, Gregory, Toro all coming in for South Georgia Tech. Carter, Papin, and Ignachkino going to the sidelines. Southern Union out of the ACCC, the Alabama Community College Conference, which, by the way, is going to go through a name change. They have hired a marketing firm to evaluate who they are and what they want to be. And this time next year probably won't be the ACCC.
Alan Preston.
Preston committing the foul. She'll come out, and Silva apparently has got those busted lip problems taken care of. She's back into the game. I believe we've got a jump ball. And there is a timeout. And I believe it was asked for by Southern Union, but it's ahead of the midpoint, and I believe becomes the media timeout. So we'll take a break. Come right back to the hangar.
University of Alabama Online, where legends log in. A tradition of excellence. Decades of experience in distance learning. Empowering students of all ages. More than 90 degree and certificate programs to advance your career. UA Online. Flexible, affordable, legendary. Let your computer be your campus. Visit online.ua.edu.
Just a tad under 8 minutes to go in the half. South Georgia Tech jumping out at the 25-14 lead. A couple of teams that lost on the opening day. Albany Tech knocking off Southern Union. Cape Fear beating South Georgia Tech. And there was a foul on, I believe he held up a 1 and a 2, which would be Silva. And that will be her first foul. Lobbed over into the corner. Back into the ballgame is Perry. Perry with a miss on the 3 try. Sent to Silva. Gregory to Salumu. Sakano. Toro putting up the 3, short on the shot. Rebounded by Tucker. And a little too close for the contact to Salumu. She'll be charged with a foul. And that will be 2 on Salumu, so she will come out of the game. Papin and Carter back in. Also leaving the game is Toro. In play to Tucker. And I'm going to Mosley. And it's Tucker bringing it down low. Sakano comes out to defend. Missed shot. Gregory grabbing the rebound. And there was a walk by Gregory. Into the paint, Perry with a miss, Papin with a board, sends it over to Gregory. Gregory in traffic, trying to coax it over the rim, comes out. Sakano retrieves, Papin to Gregory. Down low, that is Carter. And Carter committing the foul. Offensive foul on Carter. Getting the underneath of the backboard. That was Bridges. Spin move, Carter. Gregory able to track it down. Sakano back to Gregory. Down low to Silva. Feeds into the corner. Carter for three. Too strong. Tucker with it. One-on-one with Sakano. And Tucker waits for teammates. Feeds over to Bridges. Silva with a block. Silva with a loose ball. Gets it to Sakano. In the corner, Papin. Sakano. A little bit behind Silva. Able to get to it though. Carter puts up the three off the rim. Papin. Up and in with the reverse. Perry in and out with the three. Silva giving it to Sakano. Gregory into the paint, trying to bank it. Tucker's got it. Gregory, the leading scorer for these Jets coming into the weekend. That is Tucker with a miss from near the stripe. Silva, another rebound. Up in to Sakano. Down it goes to Silva, swatted into the corner, and Gregory standing there, just waiting to plant a three. Jets expanding the lead to 16. We used to call it up and down on the playground. Well, it's not a travel. I thought it was. But instead, it is a charge and a foul given to Mosley. And the Bison with a lot of changes. Got Davis back in. They have got Faith Brown into the game. Tucker stays in. And you got a timeout on the floor. The lead is nearly 20, prompting a Bison break.
Georgia Technical College, where we make it happen.
Whether your dream is to become a welder, a nurse, a restaurant owner, electrician, or aircraft mechanic, South Georgia Technical College can help you make it happen. SGTC has over 200 associate degree, diploma, and technical certificate of credit programs of study available. Visit our website at southgatech.edu for more information or to apply, or call 800-928-0283.
So what are you waiting for? Let's make it happen.
.348 to play. Getting into a little, I think that was David Bowie, was it not? Pressure. I know my music from like 77 to 79 or 80. After that, not much good with anything. But I'm thinking that was a David Bowie too. Into the ball game, Maria Favero. And Favero has got it. First appearance onto the floor at the 3:21 mark. How about another three? Wow, Jets have been hot from long range tonight. It will be interesting to get those halftime stats and see their percentages, but I'm thinking they're 45 to 50% from behind the arc, maybe even better. Foul called on Favero. And that is the fifth Jets foul, prompting a trip to the stripe.
Foul on Favero.
Jets don't play tomorrow. Obviously, the Indians of USC Salkehatchie don't play. They've gone home. Albany Tech is back. I think they have got Cape Fear. And I believe Southern Union and Andrew College tangle in the other game.
Tucker 0 for 2 to the free throw line.
Ignach Kino with it. Feeds to Papin, and Papin gets fouled. Wiltshire committing the foul, Papin to the stripe. Sophomore, one of, I believe, 3 sophomores back from last year. Favero, Papin, and let's see, who is the other? Sicano. Everybody else freshmen and newcomers to the Jets program. Tucker with a rebound, heads to the other end of the floor. Favero with a reach step of the way. That is backcourt. Wiltshire had to go to the other side of the floor and retrieve. And it'll be Jets basketball. I mentioned that Southern Union out of the ACCC, which, by the way, has a couple of divisions. They have about half of the conference playing D2 and the other half D1. And Southern Union is one of those D1 schools. And in Alabama, that's basically by choice. It's no different from the standpoint of they do not provide housing for athletes in Alabama at any level. But half of the conference going the 2 route, the other half the 1 route. And Southern Union, one of about 7, possibly 8, that have gone the 1 route. Talia Lee, she is a sophomore. As a matter of fact, when you look at both of these rosters combined, heavily freshman. 3 sophomores on the Jets roster. And on the Bison roster, you have got 2. So a lot of young ladies who were playing prep ball a year ago on the floor. 3-second violation on Indak Kino. And she will come out of the game. Salumu with those 2 personals checking back in for the final 1:51 of the first half. Foul called on Toro. .1 Jets lead. Southern Union has spent quite a bit of time at the stripe. If they had been more successful at the stripe, might be a little closer game, but they have struggled a bit. And there's a couple of misses again. Zip down low to Salumu. Sakano left open for the 3, and that's off the rim. Salumu with a board and gives it to Carter. Salumu off the rim. Hardy taking into the Bison into the floor. And there is another foul. This one on Carter. And 2 more shots. Lee at the line. There have been a litany of free throws, but if memory serves me correct, when they started shooting these free throws, they had 14 on the board. And until that trip had picked up only 1 at the strike. But 2 for 2 goes Lee. Into the corner to Papin. Off the rim. And there is another foul. Wow. And Silva apparently the guilty party. So more free throws. Wiltshire going to the strike.
Foul on Silva. Second personal.
And I think Jason Carpenter is arguing the discrepancy. Of course, the fouls, the total number of fouls ends when you get to the bonus at 5 on the scoreboard. But it is well over 5 in the first half or in the second quarter for South Georgia Tech, whereas for the Bison, there are just 2 fouls that have been committed in the quarter. Well, that's another stat we'll take a peek at halftime. The number of fouls for both teams. Brought inside for 2 by Gregory.
Gregory for the Lady Jets.
Nearly stolen away by Sakano. Lobbed in play to Wiltshire. That will roll into the corner, and sitting there waiting on it is Lee. Gregory with a rebound. There's time for the Jets to get to the other end of the floor. Sucano for three. And that will bang off the window. Jets take a 41-19 lead into the locker room at halftime. Halftime again, JUCO Rush. That 30-minute program, downsized 15 to fit in our halftime here. That has the Jets leading it 41-19.
Arrington. We're going to have the Pete Arrington family with a picture at mid-court. Let's give Mr. Pete a big hand, even though he is past.
And welcome into the JUCO Rush. I'm Mike Fraser from downtown Chicago. He's Robert Williamson, Florella, Alabama. Robert, good evening.
Good evening, Mike. How is it in Chicago?
It's good, man. The NJCAA football poll, the playoff poll came out today, and man, it is now set. We knew who the four teams were, Robert. It was just a matter of who was going to sit in the 2 slot, who was going to sit in the 3 slot.
Do you want to see those polls?
Let's see.
Are you really interested in what happened? You know, who's 1 through 4, who's 1 through 15?
Been waiting to get to this moment since August.
All right, let's do it then. There you go.
Georgia Military moves up to the 2 slot. Hutch moves to 3. Robert, that's a huge difference just from a weather pattern standpoint. Think about it. If you're Hutch, you're playing that game in December. It's on a good day. If you catch the weather right, it's 30 degrees with the wind out of the north at 15. Now you go down to Milledgeville, Georgia. It's going to be 65 degrees and partly cloudy.
It is definitely going to be different. Hey, can I do a little bit of this? Did you notice that those 4 teams were all 1-loss teams? No 2-loss teams. Did you notice that every one of those 4 teams had at least a loss? I mean, did you happen to notice that?
You called it. You called it.
It does reinforce, it validates that blind chipmunk and an acorn theory. It does kind of validate that.
Yeah, but one thing, hey, listen, luck is the residue of hard work. So there you go. I'm going to pat you on the back even more.
Well,
all right.
I asked
for one and only time. The one and only time. Hey, you were right. No, you called it. I said a 2-loss team when the season started would get in. It didn't happen. Came close, but it didn't happen. They got it in. Your thoughts? You surprised that the committee moved Georgia Military to 2 after they were 3 last week?
I thought it was the right thing to do. Now, you might recall last week I said, let me kind of hold back on the vitriol until we get to this poll, because I knew there were some different dynamics where this poll was concerned as compared to the prior, 11 or so. So I think it was right. I think the pollsters got it right. And I will say, even if Georgia Military had not been the number 2 team, this is an imperfect science, but I think they have done and tried to do as well as they possibly can, come up with a method by which to rank these teams in a fair and orderly process. And that would have been whether Georgia Military was 2 or not, but I think they deserve that spot.
You know, the committee is never going to please all the people all the time. I thought they did an outstanding job. They really avoided the big locomotive a few weeks ago of multiple 2-loss teams. And who do you put in, a Navarro or an East Central if there was a 2-loss team? But you'll see on my poll, if I was a voter, I would have slotted Hutch at number 2. And matter of fact, there they are. And again, no disrespect to Georgia Military, none to Rob Manchester. I just think Hutch, for me, based on the eye test and strength of schedule, I think they get my vote as the number 2 team, Georgia Military 3, Northwest 4. Note this, Robert, on Northwest, how big was that Hail Mary against Holmes? How does that stand now? Northwest wins that game on a Hail Mary 50-yard touchdown pass. Remember, they lost their first game out of the year on the year to an unranked Pearl River team who was never ranked in the top 20 or the top 15 in the NJCAA or the JUCO Rush poll. Robert, that turned out to be a huge play that propelled Northwest into the postseason.
Behind every successful team and season, there is a little bit of good luck. There was a lot of bit of good luck against Holmes on that particular night. And yeah, that Hail Mary turns into a Northwest win. Heck, they're not a number 4 team. They're not in if that Hail Mary is not complete. It was, and they are.
And you're right. And they get in there. So the 4 teams are set. I would put a Hutch number 2. You've got them at number 3. The committee voted as a group that Hutch is the number 3 team, and they'll have to go on the road to take on Rob Manchester and the Bulldogs. And that game is an afternoon. It's a matinee affair on December the 8th. Iowa Western on December 7th will entertain Northwest. And, man, again, Council Bluffs in December, going to be cold. But look, East Mississippi went in there last year and beat Hutchinson in a cold weather game. So I think I don't think that's going to affect Benji. And look, they've got a beast back there in the running game. I mean, a Demarion Petit, this guy is just tough as nails. So I don't think the weather plays a factor. I mean, of course, if there's a snowstorm or some sort, but the temperature is not going to stop Northwest. This is a tough football team. And it's Scott Strohmeyer will tell you, Iowa Western has their work cut out for him in this matchup. And interesting, you look at Iowa Western at number 1, they're at home. They play the toughest schedule in the league, in my opinion, and their reward is the champ out of Mississippi, Northwest.
Yeah, and my top 6, almost identical to yours, with the exception, as you mentioned, Georgia Military. I've got 2, Hutch 3. This is starting to concern me a little bit, though, over the course of time now, 10 or 11 weeks of this show. Are you and I starting to think alike? That scares me a little bit, and it should scare the heck out of you.
Yeah, I know. Stunning that we agree on something, but you look at we don't agree on the 2 and 3 slot, but most other things we do. And you watch this long enough, a lot of things just happen to fall into place. I'll tell you what fell into place is my players of the week. How about the SWJCFC, the conference championship game? Congratulations to Navarro. They win that football game 31-28. What a game. 14-13 at the half. Then Navarro opens up a lead. Tanner Jacobson and the Apaches run a fake punt that goes for a touchdown. They're right back in it. It finishes 31-28. And Navarro, their 6th SWJCFC conference championship as they get it done. And my first, I'm staying in with 2 guys from Navarro. First, I'm going with my man Clay, the running back, 23 carries, 125 yards, and a touchdown. Also caught a couple of passes. He was instrumental in the Bulldogs' victory over the Apaches. And then I'm going with Tim Burns, 10 catches, 165 yards, and a touchdown. He was the go-to guy for quarterback Mason Shorb. He sat down with the JUCO Rush. And now joining us, Tim Burns, wide receiver for the Navarro Bulldogs, SWJCFC champs. Tim, I know that's got to sound good.
That sounds amazing.
This is the 6th title for Navarro in the 29-year history since going to this conference title and playing football and getting it done. That game was close, 31-28, but 14-13 at the break. Then you extend the lead. Then Tyler runs that fake punt. Man, a lot of drama. What was racing through the mind of you and the players on the sidelines when all of a sudden it became a real tight game, 4th quarter?
We had a level head. Like, we understood that we came out slow and made the game harder than what it was. So going into halftime, we just came together as one and just spoke Like we just keep everybody head up, let everybody know like we still good. You know, we still in this fight. The ball game's not over. We got 30 more minutes of football to play. Like anything can happen at this point. We just gotta go back out there coming out the halftime and ball out.
Tim, you had a different quarterback at the start of the year, and then Mason Schwarm comes in during, I think it was the blend game. Obviously, you and he clicked, but from your perspective, did it really matter who was at the helm?
Honestly, it did. I told both quarterbacks coming into the season, if y'all need help, I'm here to help. Whatever I can do, just make sure, give me the ball. I'm gonna help change the game, no matter how I need to do it.
You are from Miami, Florida. You're playing football in Corsicana. There's a little difference between Miami, Florida, and Corsicana, Texas. So how did you adjust to the different culture, and how has it affected you as a football player?
As far as adjusting to the culture, I just surrounded myself around people who either was from Texas or was from here, and they helped me, get along with it and see the different things to do out here, rather than me being from Miami. Well, there's a lot of things to do. And as far as adjusting, I did great with it, honestly.
Tim, as we talk with Tim Burns here on the JUCO Rush, Tim, your strength as a wide receiver, what's your best asset? Hands, speed, what is it?
I say speed. Speed kills. Get in and out of your breaks, in and out of your routes. Speed kills.
Who recruited you to Navarro?
Coach Jay.
And how did that process lead to you signing with the Bulldogs?
It was a long process, honestly, and they just stuck with it. They stuck with me, and I thank them so much for that. And they brought me in, and it's crazy because last year they brought me in as a DB, and I transitioned this year as a receiver. And Coach Patrick Hall, he developed me and helped me become what I am today. The
SWJCFC is well respected. How tough was it playing in that league? How did JUCO football mature you as a football player?
The conference itself was definitely tough. That's what I can say. Like, each game was not an easy game. Like, it wasn't I'm going to come in and make sure, we're going to come in and just handle this team. Like, each game was definitely a fight, and it was just the best team that won.
You look at the future for you. You guys are going to probably go to a bowl game.
Yes, sir.
Just your thoughts on that.
That's a blessing for all of us. That's more game, more things, more film, more team, more time to play with each other. Man, Coach Patrick makes practice hard for us. So no matter if it's a bowl game, a conference championship, a regular game, like each and every week was practice. Make sure we come to practice. We start practice, the receiver corps start practice 30 minutes earlier. And we started 30 minutes earlier just to make sure we warmed up, we ready to go, everybody awaken, and we just, all as one as a unit.
You went up against Will Cornelson and Darian White last week.
Yes, sir.
In that secondary. What was that experience like playing against those two talented guys?
They're very talented. That's what I can't give them. Those are some very talented guys. But us as a receiver corps, we just knew, like, coming into the game, no matter what, nobody can play with us. Honestly, that was our mindset throughout the whole year. We never seen a defense that could cover all of our guards, and we just knew, like, coming into this game, somebody, no matter who it was going to be able to have the opportunity and just shine.
What's next for you as we wrap up our conversation? After the bowl game, where are you headed next? As
of now, I won't display that now because I'm still weighing in options, but I definitely have something to say soon.
Tim, it was great watching you play this year. Congratulations on the title. Stay healthy in the bowl game.
Yes, sir.
And we wish you nothing but the best, young man.
Thank you.
All right, for Robert Williamson, I'm Mike Fraser. This has been the JUCO Rush. Thanks to our special guest, Tim Burns of Navarro, the wide receiver, and also the chair of the selection committee, Jake Ripple. We'll see you next week, everybody. So long.
We get second half action underway in a 41-19 contest. Jets with the lead with the basketball. Ignachkino with a miss. Papin grabbing it. Sakano's got it. Over to Salumu and to Gregory. And the same five that started the game start the second half for the Jets. Rattles in and out for Sakano, but the board belongs to the Jets. And another opportunity for South Georgia Tech. By the way, I see on YouTube where Brazil is checking in on the coverage. Thank you very much, the family of Dually Silva, and I hope I am pronouncing that last name correctly. Watching from Brazil, great to have you on the other end of the broadcast tonight. As that one will wind up in the hands of one of the second half starters for Southern Union. Mosley, Tucker, Perry, Fannin, and Bridges, same five that started the game, start the second half, and now we got a basketball that's sitting right there on top of the goal. And just one shot for Papin. Looks like she's done that before. And here I was going to volunteer to just kind of jump up and tip it off the top of the backboard. Okay, if you know my vertical leaping skills, you know that is a real stretch. I would need a ladder and more. Papin's got it. Out to Sakano. Sakano putting up the three, dropping it in from long range. Well, let's take a look at some of those first half stats, by the way. We'll look at the leaderboard. And for Brazil, we'll look at Silva. Silva had 3 rebounds, 1 assist in 8 minutes and 41 seconds of play. Fannin putting up the 3. She'll drop it in. Well, I was thinking maybe a 45 to 50% three-point shooting in the first half. Jets cooled off a little bit in the latter stages of the second stanza, finished with about 39% of their threes dropping in. And two, we were going to check on the discrepancy in fouls. There were 11 first half South Georgia Tech fouls, 5 first half Bison fouls. Bridges working into the corner. Leading first half scorer for the Bison with 5 was Wilcher. Top rebounder was Tucker with 5. There are 2 Bison with 2 fouls, Mosley and Wilcher. And the most time on the floor for a Bison was 15 minutes, and 45 seconds, and that belonged to Mosley. As Carter comes in, Ignachkino coming off the floor. Meanwhile, at the line, shooting is Mosley. Mosley with 2 first-half points. No free throws. Did not make a trip to the line. Has now and is 0 for 1. For the Jets, the top scorer Carter, the top rebounder Carter, both with 9 points, 9 boards. The assist leader, that was Silva. Silva with 4. Most time on the floor, Sakano. She was out on the floor 16 and a half minutes. Only left for about a half minute. Turnovers, 5 in the first half for the Bison, 7 for the Jets. All turnovers, no scoring for the Bison, 4 for the Jets. Bench scoring, 11 for Southern Union, 13 for South Georgia Tech.
Salamu with the foul. Third personal, third team foul.
Salamu picking up her 3rd foul.
Carry on the line.
And shooting is Perry. Perry, like Mosley, did not make a first-half trip to the stripe, but is there now. Rebounded by Salumu. Knocked down on the other end of the floor is Carter. Jets 23 in the first quarter, 18 in the second. Bison 14 in the first and 5 in the second. Largest first half lead, 22. When it was 36-14. Papin from the corner. Off on the 3, rebounded by Carter. And Carter gets the bucket. She'll go to the line with an opportunity for more. And with that single play, has got herself a double-double. Better than 10 points and better than 10 boards. Carter trying to extend it to a 22-point game again. Matching the largest Jet lead. Lost in the paint, Sakano's got it. Back out front to Sakano. That is Carter with it. Fires down low to Salumu. And Salumu may have just picked up her 4th foul. That is foul number 4 on Salumu. And Silva will check into the game. So it may be a while before we see Salumu again. Probably not in the 3rd quarter. Stripped away by Gregory. Trying to get it to Papin. And it will go out of bounds. Apparently last touching Gregory. Well, there's an issue, I'm assuming, over at the scorer's table. I don't know if it is clock, score, shot clock related. 49-28 game, 5:51 now. They're adjusting the score. And that might have been why Coach Fuches came over and there was a chuckle between he and the official, because actually points taken away from the Southern Union total. You may have said something like, hey, just leave it up there. We're good with it. Tucker tipped away. Silva with a steal. Lobs down to Gregory, and Gregory has it tipped out of bounds. Tucker reaching in, or either Hardy, both in the vicinity. And Gregory lacing up the sneakers before continuing play. Got a quartet of Bison coming to the scorer's table, getting ready to check into the game. Hardy with Sakano defending into the corner. It goes to Perry. Perry with a miss from three-point range. Rebounded by Papin. Whips it over to Gregory, and it's swatted out of bounds. Gregory knocked down. Teammates will come help her up, and she will head to the line. And here come those four new faces for the Bison. Lee into the game. Boozer checking in. Davis and Wilcher. Harding was the only one that stays. Gregory missing her first of two. 7 in the game for Gregory. She'll go 1 of 2. Toro into the game. Out will go Gregory. Jets halfway to 100 at the 5:04 mark. Quarter number 3. Spin by Wilcher. Laid it up but not in. Silva with a rebound. From the corner, Papin. Off the rim. And a little shoving going on down low. And apparently Silva going to be charged with a foul. .443 to play in the third. We are to the media timeout. Jets by 27.
Georgia Technical College, where we make it happen.
Whether your dream is to become a welder, a nurse, a restaurant owner, electrician, or aircraft mechanic, South Georgia Technical College can help you make it happen. SGTC has over 200 associate degree, diploma, and technical certificate of credit programs of study available. Visit our website at southgatech.edu for more information or to apply, or call 800-928-0283.
So what are you waiting for? Let's make it happen.
Well, how can you not do a little moving to Michael Jackson, right? I mean, I can't do much, but I can tap my toe. That's toe tapping music on a Saturday, last one in November. I mentioned it in the game earlier. If you've got to have it done in November, you're running out of time. 4 hours. Actually, a little less than. Remaining in your November. In the Eastern time zone, I live over in the Central, so we've got 5 hours. And Silva fouled her third. And she will stay in the game, at least at the moment. Don't see any jet over at the scorer's table. Wilcher, who was 3 for 4 in the first half from the line. Hits both this trip.
Wilcher 2 for 2 from the foul line for Southern Union.
Carter to Silva. Sakano in the opposite corner. Silva back over to Sakano. Little bump in between she and Hardy. Shot clock at 5. Sakano forcing the 3. Couldn't coax it over the rim. Put back in by Toro. That'll be thrown out of bounds. Mascot lead. And it'll be Jet basketball. Just a tad over 4 minutes to play in the third. Jets playing their last game in the Classic. Southern Union, one more. 2 games tomorrow, games at 1 and 3. No 5 o'clock game tomorrow. Something about 5 o'clock. There wasn't a 5 o'clock game today. Carter is fouled. And that's either a 2-2 or a 2-3 the official was holding up. Make that a 3-3. So it is Boozer who commits the foul.
Second personal, second team foul.
That is 2 on Boozer. Carter continuing to add to her double-digit total. Now standing at 11. She and Sakano, the 2 double-digit scorers for the Jets. Preston coming in. Silva will go out for the Jets. A foul called, I believe, on Preston. That'll be 2 on Preston. Well, the Jets had 11 first half fouls and are working on a similar total here in half number 2. Boozer 1 of 2, Preston with a rebound. Into the corner it goes to Toro. Carter to Papin. Left open is Toro, shoots the 3 off the rim, rebounded by Wilcher. Feeds it down to Lee. Looking for a little help and finds it in Wilcher. Back to Lee. Lee for 3. And she'll drop in her second 3.
Lee for Southern Union.
Carter getting it to Preston. Papin in the corner. Gregory gets a good look, couldn't get it to drop it, got the rebound. Over it goes to Carter, top side. She'll float this one. Too strong, Boozer with it. Good look down low, but Papin recovers quickly. Lee couldn't get the shot off. Hardy for 3 off the rim. Preston boxed out. Boozer comes down with the board. Hardy to Davis, and there's a blocking foul on Papin. Sakano and Ignacino getting ready to come into the ball game for the Jets. Papin is leaving and Carter is leaving. Wiltshire with a couple of minutes left in the third. Here at the hangar in Americus, Georgia on a chilly Saturday night. It has been unseasonably warm, but when it finally cooled off, it did it in noticeable fashion. Preston with a rebound off the miss. Stolen away. That is Wiltshire, and Wiltshire will dribble it out of bounds. Here comes Silva back into the game. Preston will go out. Toro with a miss from long range. Ignachkino with the board. Sicano putting up the three. It's off the rim. Toro touching it last. Bison will have it. And it is Hardy who will walk it down the floor for the Bison. Off the fingertips of Toro. Looked like it was going to be a turnover, but instead off Toro. Hardy to put it in play from the baseline. 75 seconds remain in the third. Davis to Wiltshire. Silva defending. Contact. Whistle. And I am assuming we've got a foul on Toro. Let's see. Nope. And maybe Silva. It is Silva. So Saluma and Silva both with 4 each. And both are on the sidelines as Wiltshire hits her first of 2. Gregory to Sicano, over to Toro from the corner, Papin. Trying to get it down low to Ignachkino. It is tipped out of bounds by Boozer. Ignachkino to put it in play from the baseline. Into Gregory, and that's a little too strong and a little bit behind Ignachkino. Fed over to Davis. Davis. Wiltshire, head fake into the paint. Shot no good. Papin with a board. There is time to get down to the other end of the floor and take a good look. In the corner, Gregory. Short on the 3 try, and that will be it for 3 quarters of basketball. 75% of the game done, unless we go to OT. And it is the Jets up by 22. Just about all White Jones County. Diving catch at shortstop. Gross. Towards the gap. Diving catch in center field by Ben Aklinski. There is a shot towards deep short. Kraft's got it. Long throw over, and he got it. Ten minutes to go in this one, a 54-32 Jets lead. Bison to put it in play from right here in front of where we sit. Lee to do the honors. In play to Wilcher, and we got your fourth underway. Thrown out of bounds by Wilcher, apparently thinking that Hardy was going to break one way, and she did not. Didn't break the other, just didn't break. Ignachkino got her first points of the game. And Sakano trying to get that loose ball laid on the baseline. Battle for the loose ball in the corner. Davis and Papin. Davis came up with it. And Papin is going to commit the foul. So it is brought in from the baseline. In play to Lee. Feeds over to Boozer. Boozer leans in. Shot no good. Tip towards the corner. And it will go out of bounds off either Toro or Sakano. Over to Boozer, and Boozer shoots over Ignachenko. It turns it into a 22-point game. Gregory with a nifty move to the hoop, got the bucket, drew the foul. And has a chance for the old-fashioned three. And she has joined teammates Carter and Sakano, scoring double digits. That's her 10th. This would be her 11th. Salumu, who practically sat out a quarter, picking up her fourth foul around the 6:41 mark. Back into the game. Tipped out of bounds by Gregory. Southern Union will keep possession, put in play to Wilcher. That is Harney. Missed, got it back, tries again, and she is fouled this time. Salumu in the neighborhood. Is she the one that committed the foul? I think she did, and that's it. Salumu came in 19 seconds ago with 4 fouls. And got 19 seconds in, committed her 5th. And is done for the day. And apparently Lee committing the foul, knocking down Toro. Ignachenko to put it in play from the baseline on the opposite end of the floor and gives it to Sakano. Into the paint, off the window. That is Gregory again. Gregory now with 13 in the game. Lee's got it in the corner, bounce pass to Boozer. Trying to get underneath the much taller Ignachenko. What a nice feed. 2 more for Gregory. Off the rim, no good for Lee. Retrieved by Hardy. Gets it to Boozer. Boozer just can't work the dribble, control the dribble. Tipped out of bounds by Ignachenko. And now the Bison doing what they've done frequently in the game, and that is some wholesale substitutions. Perry, Bridges, Fannin, Tucker, and Mosley. All of the starters back into the game for the Bison. Out of bounds off Toro. Bison in play from the baseline. Trying to get it to Bridges. Bridges trying to track down the loose ball. Ignachenko coming up with it, gives it over to Carter. Toro at the timeline on the left side. Into Carter. Carter gets fouled. And Carter looking to add to that 12-point total. Papin coming out of the game. Preston will check in for the Jets. There aren't many dressed out in Jet uniforms who have not been on the floor for South Georgia Tech. And of course, we know all the Bison have gotten into the game. There is a foul on Ignachenko, I think, or did she put up a single digit versus the 2 digits that would be on the jersey of Ignachenko? And it's Carter picking up the foul. Sent out to Fannin. It is thrown out of bounds. Ignachenko over to Gregory to Preston. Ignatchenko trying to zip it down to Preston. Able to tip it away was Tucker. And there's timeout Bison as Mosley was trying to work it down low. 5:48 to play. We'll see if this turns into our media timeout. You know, the first one after the 5-minute mark. Well, that is the only way that my wife would go with me to a game or any place for that matter. We'd have to bring her little fur daughter along. But I'm okay with that. Okay, she's our little fur daughter. Didn't think I'd ever, get attached to a little animal. But we've got one here in the house. Got youngsters of all ages. Even got some of the furry kind in the house tonight. Nearly stolen away by Gregory. That is Tucker for three. An air ball, and it's retrieved by Carter, and then Carter's knocked down by Bridges. And apparently took the shoe off of Carter.
Bridges for Southern Union. Second personal.
That is the second foul on Bridges. Non-shooting foul. Everybody was headed to the stripe to shoot, but we're not there yet. For the Bison, that is their fourth foul, not their fifth. Ignatchenko giving to Toro. Out front to Gregory. And a double dribble from Gregory. Taken into the glass, Mosley. I'll make that Perry. And Perry will get fouled. And let's see who committed the foul in this particular case. It is going to be Ignatchenko.
Foul on Ignatchenko. Third personal. Fourth team.
One of two goes Perry. Nearly taken away. Toro able to get it back. Calls a lot of white jerseys, which means somebody wearing black is open. Gregory with his Preston saves it onto the floor to Gregory. Toro spins. Rebounded by Bridges. Fed outside of the paint to Perry. Perry with a miss on the three. Bridges tipping it away from Ignachenko. Picked up by Tucker, and Tucker knocking down the short range two.
Tucker for Southern Union.
Gregory to Preston. In the corner to Carter. Carter putting up the three, and she's got it. Carter with 15. Trying to match the three is Fannin, and she does. Shot over into the corner to Toro. Carter thinking about the three. Gregory firing to Preston. And there was a 3-second violation on Ignachenko. Well, apparently that timeout at the 5:48 mark was not the media timeout. Wasn't turned into one. This one is with 3:11 to go.
University of Alabama Online, where legends log in. A tradition of excellence. Decades of experience in distance learning. Empowering students of all ages. More than 90 degree and certificate programs to advance your career. UA Online. Flexible, affordable, legendary. Let your computer be your campus. Visit online.ua.edu.
.311 left to play in this one. Second and final game of the night. Two more games of the Classic. They will happen at 1 and 3 tomorrow. Perry missing, make that Fannin missing on the three. Preston with a rebound over to Sakano is checked back into the game. Silva back in, playing with 4 fouls. Pump in, popping the three. Mosley attracting the foul. Next week, basketball on Tuesday and Saturday. And I'm trying to recall where we go. I think Coastal North on Tuesday. And then on Saturday, both Coastal North and South basketball. As in Coastal Alabama North and Coastal Alabama South. And, of course, as we wind down coverage on tonight's game, quick reminder of all the formalities. First of all, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. I think we need 27 to get to 5,400, or did coming into the game. You're watching on YouTube. And when you subscribe, you get access to interviews, to shows, to games. Plus, you know how it works. You get those alerts. Don't have to come back time and time again to see if the game or link has started. You're alerted to that fact. Yes, Silva comes out and Carter back in with Fannin shooting. Plus, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Threads, and Blue Skies. And while you're at it, if you want to watch this game or any game of the Classic, download it, or any game that we've got for a year. $25 does it. So you can go back and watch about 900 different games. And download them if you like. All for the itty-bitty price tag of $25. Papin to Preston, Sakano to Gregory, and Gregory walks. Inside 2 to go. Mosley backing it out. Sakano with her each step of the way, then Preston picks her up. Fannin. Little Jet sandwich, and which of the Jets committed the foul? It will be Papin. So I think we've gotten all of the formalities out of the way. Now we'll just put the finishing touches on the coverage and get ready for tomorrow's basketball at 1 o'clock. Carter down low to Preston. Looking for a little help, finds it in Toro. Carter drawing the foul. 15 in the game. Leading scorer is Sakano with 16. But Carter's got a chance to surpass that at the line.
Foul on Bridges. Third personal. 15.
That is 3 fouls on Bridges. Well, Carter will match the Sakano team high of 16. As we get inside a minute to play. Perry off on the 3 try. Papin with a rebound. And it is thrown out of bounds by Preston. But apparently got a piece of Perry on the way out. So the Jets able to keep it put in play to Toro. Carter says, I want that scoring honor all to myself. Off the rim with the 3. Off the glass with the 2. Bridges with the rebound. Laid up and in by Mosley. Tipped out of bounds. 23-point lead. Papin. She's got another 3. That is 14 in the game for Papin. Stolen away by Preston, but dribbled it out of bounds. In play to Perry. Perry off the glass. Preston the foul on Tucker. Tucker will go to the line with less than a second to play. Well, will it be a 73-47 or a 73-48 final? Looks like 73-48 is going to be it. This ball game is over. Jets 1-1 in Classic play. Southern Union will fall to 0-2 in the Pete Arrington Classic.
Don't forget games tomorrow at 1.
1 o'clock game tomorrow. Well, they've already reset the scoreboard. They're anxious to get going, so we are integrated into the scoreboard on the other side of the floor. They're getting ready for tomorrow already.
Here in the hangar.
So that's why you saw goose eggs. But the final 73-48. Jets will win it. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow, 1 o'clock and 3 o'clock. And that's when we will put an end to this Pete Arrington Classic. Have a great rest of your November. We'll see you in December. So long, everybody. For South Georgia Tech and JockJive, I'm Robert Williamson. Good night, everybody.